symbolism is important to the outsiders because we need to find a dynamic way of letting the audience understand visually the plight of the greasers in their world that is controlled by society and the socias and kind of an oppression that they feel. Well, we chose to use a billboard, the back of a signboard, essentially, because the outsiders are literally on the outside of society. So we're seeing the back of the signboard, meaning that the sign faces in, and it's the city. It's the people who have, so to speak, regular lives. On the back side of the sign, we see you're going to see a lot of old car parts and old car seat, all these sorts of things that they're going to use to sort of make do for their living environment. We're not trying to say that this is really their house or really where they live, literally. But it's metaphorical, or it's symbolic of their state, which is that they don't have any advantages. Very important symbol, a very big symbol that you're going to see painted on the stage floor is a giant switchblade knife. And in fact, that switchblade knife has a trick to it. Instead of depicting a real fountain, which is the fountain where Ponyboy is pushed into and nearly drowned by one of the socias, that there will be the handle of the switchblade will lift out, and there'll be a hole in the floor that is what we're using to depict the fountain that they shove his head into. So you're going to bring a lot of your imagination to this endeavor when you come to see this play, and it's not going to look like a movie set. It's going to be a lot more imaginative, and your mind is going to fill in a lot of the blanks for what the world really actually might have looked like.
So we came up with the idea of a billboard basically being the symbolic thing that goes through both worlds. Because if you think about a billboard, you have on one side you have this image that normally is beautiful, while on the other side it's kind of decrepit and aged. And so that's kind of what we thought would be the best idea for what happens in this play. Because on one side you have their world that's very poor and dated and tough, while on the other side you have the socias, and they're popular and they have everything perfect for them. So we decided to give this billboard as the main symbol for the set. Now, in getting this, Jeff brought to me two different kinds of theater. He said he wanted this German Expressionism, which is very dark and melodramatic, very dreamlike, and then he showed me a picture of a billboard that was very textured and more naturalism. Now, naturalism in the theater is very gritty, very earth, low class, very much what The Outsiders is about. So my job was to take both of these isms and form them together and make this play. And so what we have here is you have painted light, which is German Expressionism, forced perspective, where things aren't, if you see something normally, this really has this perspective and look to it, this certain, dreamlike state, as you can say. Also strict color palette, mainly we used black and white, with just a little bit of hints of red in the set. One thing that I researched, Jeff and I both, when we look in German Expressionism, is they were really big on doing like these beautiful hardwood floors with this symbol of, something that has to deal with the play painted on the floor. And so we thought we'd really bring this into The Outsiders. And one of the most important props and, uses is the switchblade. Johnny uses it to kill Bob. It's often used a lot as their main weapon and their main kind of safety blanket. So we decided to paint this knife on the floor. Now, it's a little bit different from German Expressionism, again, kind of getting that naturalism in, because German Expressionism, again, it would be a hardwood floor. Well, we thought, what would be more tough and edgy and hard for this world? And so we decided to go with concrete. So it was kind of, again, blending in German Expressionism with naturalism and making it our own play. This is basically the half-inch model, and this is the space of the Coterie for this show. Now, you see here, there's the knife that we were talking about and the concrete floor. Also, with the German Expressionism, you have the painted light, and so that's what these white things are, is basically thinking like, this is the light that's coming across. Even here with the lamp, it shows the light painted. Here's the billboard, of course, the main part of the set. And it's very cold and dark on their side. We have like the graffiti and the textured paint that really pushes us on this side. Basically, it's showing how the greasers are trapped in this world. Also, see, as you can see by our restricted color palette where we use the red, that kind of shows us in the past of this city is back here just waiting for them, but they can't get to it because they're trapped behind this billboard. Now, the frustrating thing is for this show, when the socias enter, these things do things like slide and open and have these different mechanisms to them. So it's the fact that the socias can invade their world and come into their territory, but they can't. They can't escape. And so that's really what this set is about, is the feeling of being trapped in this world and people are coming in, but you can't get out.